And welcome back to another episode of America's Hometown Horror. And if you're listening to this, you're getting a bonus episode of the show. We want to do something a little bit quick and fun here for a quick and very fun movie. But before we get into all of that, I should say to you listeners, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Happy spooky season to you. And I don't know if this episode is jam-packed tonight. It might be a little bit jam-packed for about a half hour or so. But why don't we jump right in? First and foremost, here's where you can find us online. Biggest place would be our website, which is ahpod.com. That's AHHPOD.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for America's Hometown Horror or Hometown Horror Pod, and you'll find us. We'll pop right on up. And you can also email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And, of course, we are now partnering with two excellent horror resources. First is Horror Facts Magazine, which you can find at horrorfacts.com. Great resource for any horror fan for news, reviews, and podcasts just like ours. And last but certainly not least, we are now an affiliate of Fangoria. Fangoria, the biggest name in horror since 1977. We are giving you, listeners, an exclusive discount, 20%. Head on over to shop.fangoria.com/hometownhorrorpod and use the code hometownhorrorpod at checkout for a 20% discount on any merchandise or a magazine subscription if you so choose. Thanks to Fangoria and Horror Facts Magazine. And I'd be remiss, if I did not introduce my co-hosts this evening, Catherine and Andrew, as
Hello.
Matt is still off. Congrats to Matt, who just got married.
Congratulations.
Yes. What's up, Kat? What is up, Andrew?
Not a hell of a lot. Ready for Halloween season and football.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to squeeze in a quick one here before I lose Kat and Andrew's attention span to fantasy football madness, as the first Sunday of Red Zone is upon us. If you're a football fan, I'm sure you know that that is a very fun day indeed. Ribs in the smoker, food going on, and a whole bunch of football.
Names.
Yes, indeed.
Kittles in the diddler.
Well, anyway, guys, so we're talking about a cool little movie here tonight, and this is one that I picked, and I guess I'll say to start off, nostalgia's a powerful thing, especially if you're me. The Halloween nostalgia is a powerful thing, and we're talking about the 2013 film tonight, the WNUF Halloween Special.
This movie's that old? I didn't realize.
Yes, 2013, the year of our Lord, 2013. And WNUF Halloween Special is a one that's a little bit tough to find. This is a very low-budget indie movie that was only available, I think, on Blu-ray for a while, and it just came to Shudder a few months back. And I watched it right when it got launched on Shudder, and I absolutely loved it. I think this is going to be one of those movies that is an annual Halloween season rewatch for me. I really just think it's a lot of fun. So, Andrew, Kat, I know you guys didn't really know too much about this, and I mean, we just kind of all watched it together. The floor is yours. Andrew, why don't we start with you on the WNUF Halloween Special?
I thought it was good. I liked it. It was very, like you said, brought back a lot of nostalgia from like the 1990s when you're watching those TV programs.
Yeah,
you know.
programs.
It's just like the I like how they did all the commercials that were like super cheesy in between it. There was a lot of commercials. Felt like this movie could have been like 30 minutes if there weren't all those commercials.
Yeah.
It reminds you of what you like. What I like about streaming TV as much now is the's no commercials anymore, but the commercials definitely added to that feeling of nostalgia,
When
which
you
I
were
really
younger
liked. Yeah, the graininess of it. It's a cheesy, funny movie. Like it's a nice, easy, light watch. Like, yeah, it was great. I liked it.
I liked it.
I did.
Agreed.
I did.
I could not agree more. Catherine, what about you?
I think to go to the commercial thing, I feel like when I was a kid, I would have never thought that there would be a day that I could fast forward through commercials. Like, I just remember sitting through commercials and being like, I hate this so much. Like, and even if you change a channel, it was hard because, like, if you had, like, my grandparents' house had that little knob thing you had to get up and, like, turn the... Like, it was such a pain in the ass. The antennas and all this crap. But, like, nowadays, like Andrew said, like, streaming, like, all that. But, yeah, I think there was way too many commercials. Even some of them repeated, even though they fast-forwarded through them.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, yeah, the way this was shot was pretty awesome. The little characters that kind of wandered through were pretty hysterical. I mean, it was a great throwback. It's definitely a fun, and I like the way it ended too. It ended a little dark.
It's very comedic for most of the movie, and then it gets pretty dark pretty quick right at the end.
Yeah.
So,
Even though it's dark at the end, though, it's still funny.
It's still
funny.
It still
yes.
made me, like,
yes.
it wasn't, I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but I still found it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have a movie be funny for that long and then just be dark at the end and expect you not to find it funny.
Right.
Yeah, I like when they cut his tongue.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, spoiler alert, but
yes, spoiler.
But yes, so if you have not seen or heard of the WNUF Halloween Special, and you may not have, because again, it's a pretty rare movie to find. This is basically made to look like an late 80s, like early 90s, like cable channel news, like Halloween special, complete with all the commercials that Kat and Andrew were just talking about, and it's very well done. And for me, we were just talking about nostalgia here, but I just, like, this reminds me of, like, when I was growing up and I loved Halloween, and, like, my parents would, like, record Halloween specials, like, on VHS tapes for me, and I would, like...
Disney's Halloween
Treat, or, like, whatever the fuck else. Like, Disney's Halloween Treat is probably still one of the GOATs of all time. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely made to look like you're popping this into a VCR and, like, watching a recording of this Halloween special, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much what the movie is about. I would say most people probably have not seen this, so I don't necessarily want to spoil the ending quite yet, because it's definitely, I mean, it's not a huge spoiler type thing, but it's definitely got some interesting stuff going on. As we said, it takes a dark turn towards the end. But yeah, so as I mentioned, the WNUF Halloween Special came out in 2013, and it is directed. I believe the guy's name is Chris LaMartina, I believe is his name. Let me find out. Hold on. I will keep digging here. Yeah, Chris LaMartina is the guy that directed this movie, and there's actually a sequel coming. It actually just came out a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, yep. It's let me see what the name of the sequel is. Hold on, I'll find it here, but. It just premiered at a film festival a couple months back, and it's available on DVD now. So I'm actually thinking about ordering the DVD so that I can watch it, because I don't know when it'll come to streaming.
Oh, I was like, you can't stream it?
No, it's not available to stream as of yet. But I
First
know.
world
It'd
problem.
be funny if they only made it available in VHS.
Right.
That would be funny.
too.
Okay, so the sequel is called the Out There Halloween Megatape. That's the sequel.
Cool.
AKA the WNUF Halloween sequel. Came out, as I said, 2022. And I guess this one is kind of shot to be like a mid-90s thing, where it's almost kind of like an Unsolved Mysteries type parody, like a Robert Stack
cool.
Unsolved Mysteries type thing. So I can't wait to see the sequel. I'm sure it's just as fun. And I actually, so the guy had a GoFundMe page going to fund the sequel. So I actually donated. I gave him
Really?
I gave him $20 for the movie.
Cool.
Yeah. So
You're part of the.
I'm part of the production team, I suppose. So yeah, definitely check out WNUF Halloween Special, and of course the sequel. Hold on, I got to read this again, because the Out There Halloween Megatape. Awesome title. Awesome title.
That's really fun.
Yes. So let's see. I do have some facts here about the WNUF Halloween Special. So let's see. Before the movie's official release, the filmmaker and producers attempted a quote-unquote whisper campaign by leaving several VHS copies lying around a VHS convention in Pennsylvania and throwing copies out of car windows while driving around in Baltimore in hopes of sparking conversation about the film.
That's interesting.
So some viral marketing for sure. Many of the fake TV commercials were written around stock footage that the filmmakers acquired for very little money. Let's see. And then one of the producers actually confirmed in a 2018 screening of the film that the WNUF TV 28 was actually inspired by Baltimore's WNUV TV 54, a similar TV station that was independently owned until the mid-90s, which after that it became an affiliate of UPN. So I guess actually that answers our question that we had about where this actually takes place. So I think it's supposed to take place in like the Baltimore area.
Yeah, well, the 202 zip code was Washington, D.C.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So,
yep.
That was the one zip code that they had.
Good job digging and finding
Beautiful.
that out.
So that,
So yeah, actually, so while we're talking about the phone numbers and the commercials, did you actually try and call any of the phone numbers, Kat?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Did you get anything
the
at all?
The monster one?
Yes.
I forget what the commercials were. Actually, I wrote down some notes.
for the monsters.
Was it
There
just
be
like-
monsters here.
1-900-MONSTER. I dialed it and it just said that it was Verizon number that wasn't hooked
Yeah,
up.
But when you do MON for monster, it's 666.
Oh, okay. I see what they did there.
Spooky.
Very it's very spooky indeed.
I'm not sure if they did that
Yes,
intentionally,
yes,
but-
yes. Let's see. The Weber House scenes were shot in 2 days, while the news anchor scenes were filmed in a single day. I mean, that doesn't really surprise me. I don't think there's anything crazy
Yeah.
going on with the camera work
The
here.
budget
But
must
again,
have been really
yeah, I'll
small
see if I
for
can
this
find
movie.
some information on the budget. The religious protesters were inspired by the scumbags at the Westboro Baptist Church. Just
Wow.
scum of the fucking
Yep.
earth. Scum of the earth. Let's see, what else here? One of the first mock commercials shown is for quote-unquote High Pike Farms. This is possibly a nod to High Pike, an American character actor who appeared in such films as Blade Runner, Lamora, A Child's Tale of the Supernatural, and Hack-O-Lantern from 1988. Let's see.
Can we just say that I really expected like Jack Chop to come on at some point?
I know.
I was waiting for
Jack
it.
Chop.
Jack Chop. Jack Chop. Yeah, so that's what I got for facts on the WNUF Halloween special here. Let me see if I can find anything on the budget. But yeah, you can say whatever you want while I'm looking for that info.
So at the beginning, there was that cop that was like. Before they got into like the
AIDS
whole,
and stuff.
And he was like, yeah, don't let your kids walk around with the ice cream truck guy. And also, don't let your kids eat candy without inspecting it first in case it has a needle infected with the AIDS virus. And then they just like fast forward through the rest of it. I was
okay. So I'm actually glad you brought that up because I feel like they definitely did a good job of like incorporating some of those like urban legend fears that parents had like in the late 80s and early 90s about like the part that they had about like the razor blades and candy, and then like the AIDS scare, obviously, and then the satanic panic thing with the occult worship, of course. So
and they had that the 7-year-old who died, and like because the old man
thought he was a Vietnamese soldier.
that might have been the funniest news segment of the entire thing.
God.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
It's like horrible, but it's like. Just outrageous. He's like, oh well, he just really likes GI Joes. Like, it's like, oh my god.
Oh god. All right, so I found the budget. If you had to guess, what do you think this movie was made for?
$10,000.
Andrew, higher or lower than $10,000?
Higher. No, it's lower than $10,000. How much lower?
Like a lot lower.
$4,000.
A lot lower.
Like $20?
Did they not pay anyone?
Did they make the movie? They made the movie on your $20 that you donated.
According to, according to an article on Vice, the budget was $1,500.
No.
I swear to God.
So did they pay?
They didn't pay anyone then, apparently.
I mean,
if
sure,
they shot him, they probably paid them for like the day. Like, here's $100 for your 4 hours.
Come in a Halloween costume and just stand
let me
around.
see here. Let's see. While filming director Chris LaMartina tried to make the film closely resemble 1980s footage and shot on vintage tape stock. Let's see. Let me see here. So obviously, I remember I read off the fact about the commercials being very cheap. They acquired for almost no money. So. I'm sure probably a lot of the actors were the filmmakers themselves too, so that's probably why they saved some money. I guess. But I mean, it looks like it was made for more than $1,500.
I mean, they're in like a news.
I didn't think you could make anything for $1,500.
I know.
And especially all the weird commercials. I mean, you'd think that would take a little bit of.
Well, that's time.
It's just time, when you think about it.
I have a list of the commercials here. Because
they're all crappy, but they're great. Like.
So the commercials are, or some of the commercials that are listed here: Parents Against Partying, Phil's Carpet Warehouse. That might have been one of my favorites. King of Castle Lane, Mouth by Asphyxia, Stay Shore Tampons, Dandridge for Governor, and the Shining Trapeze Strip Club. That was a good one too. So
Shining Trapeze.
Good stuff. Of the characters in the movie, I know that there's a good number of characters. Did you guys have a favorite character? I happen to think Frank Stewart was pretty awesome.
He played that role perfectly.
He did.
You would have believed that you were. That's what I liked about. Like, you actually believe that you're watching an actual.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Made for television.
I did just see on here that role, like that character, was written specifically for that actor. I feel like he was perfect for that role. So, yeah.
He was great.
Also, the the knockoff Warrens. Oh my God, what were their names? The burgers, Dr. Lewis Burger and Claire Burger. Oh my God, with the cat. Yeah, that was pretty funny. They were good characters. Good stuff all around. Let me see what I have here left on WNUF filler.
I like how he's just like did you hear something? He was just like, leave. He said leave.
Leave.
Also, at the end, when Frank is he's just like getting fed up with the fake priest, and he's just yelling at him to do the exorcism. We're brought here to do the exorcism. Do the fucking exorcism. Let's go.
Well, it was funny because I said to Andrew when we were watching it, I was like, dude, it's definitely that guy who like totally sabotaged the live feed earlier with that plaid, flannel guy. I was like, he's totally the guy that's in the house right now. Like, there's no question, and he was.
All right, so as I mentioned, this came out in 2013, and some other films that came out in 2013. Looks like it's kind of an okay year for horror, so not a good movie. We got the Carrie remake, which was starring Chloe Grace Moretz as Carrie, which I never saw because I heard it was absolutely horrendous. We also got Curse of Chucky, which was another one in the Child's Play franchise. Probably one of the biggest releases that year, The Conjuring.
Oh, that makes sense.
Conjuring came out in 2013. Ever seen Dark Skies, either of you guys?
No.
It's a good movie.
No, is it?
It's a pretty good alien horror movie.
That's
I like
the one
alien
with,
horror.
what's her face?
Carrie Russell's in
Yeah.
it. Yep, Carrie Russell. I would
That's good?
definitely recommend checking it out.
It's not like...
I liked it.
Yeah,
Two thumbs up.
That's
To
on
quote
Netflix.
somebody I know. I liked it.
Netflix,
2 thumbs up.
I think.
It probably is. Also, oh man, heavy hitter that year that came out, the Evil Dead remake. Just a fucking awesome, kick-ass movie. Let's see what else we have here. I Spit on Your Grave 2, didn't see it. Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies, okay,
Sounds good
didn't
to me.
see that one. Texas Chainsaw 3D, never saw it.
No.
VHS 2, one of my favorites.
Yes.
It's got the best segment in the VHS franchise, the Safe Haven segment, which is dope. And then actually a pretty good little Bigfoot horror movie that's directed by Bobcat Goldthwait is Willow Creek. Ever seen that?
I've never seen that one.
It's good.
Is
It's
it?
pretty good. Yeah. And of course, weird that it's directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. Oh, and World War Z. Ever see World War Z?
No, I never saw that one. The one with Brad Pitt?
Yep, that's the one with Brad Pitt, and it was actually pretty good. It wasn't
Yeah?
terrible. Yeah, it was. For a big budget horror movie with Brad Pitt, not bad. Not
Zombies,
bad. The
obviously.
book was better, but the movie's actually good. So, that was what else happened in the year 2013. Guys,
Pretty good year. I think Evil Dead obviously is the best movie.
Evil
Yeah.
Dead's pretty good. I mean,
Conjuring,
the
maybe.
first Conjuring's very good, but I think I would give the edge to Evil Dead there as well. That's,
Yeah, I
probably.
agree.
I mean,
Agree.
the first Conjuring movie definitely has its moments. It's pretty scary, but Evil Dead is just such a kick-ass movie. That
Yeah, it's hard to...
it's
Like,
tough
that
to
movie
beat.
was a 100 out of 100.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least in my humble opinion.
All right, guys. Anything further on WNUF Special? Halloween Special, I should say.
Short, fun little movie
Yeah,
to just
I
pop on.
like
Like,
it.
I feel
Yeah.
like that'd be kind of fun to just throw on in the background on Halloween if you were having
Yeah.
like a party.
Yeah,
You just
Halloween
put that
party.
on.
I
Yeah.
see that. I love that kind of stuff, and it makes me happy for the Halloween season. Like that's the type of stuff that I just love. One other thing that I completely forgot to mention, I just love that at the very end of the movie, it's basically a news segment 5 days after the camera crew and everybody goes missing and are presumed to be dead. And they're basically the very last line of the movie, and Christmas is right around the corner, and then it immediately just shuts off. Like, fuck you! No,
Yeah.
it's not Christmas time yet. It's Halloween season, baby.
Yeah,
'Cause
fuck your
I
Christmas.
hate on November 1st. You walk in everywhere, and it's like Christmas shit. Drives me
Snatching
insane.
up your
Oh,
Christmas.
Snatching up your Christmas.
I'm like, what about whatever happened to Thanksgiving? Can
Yeah,
we do
right.
that next?
No kidding. Kat, anything else on WNUF Halloween Special?
No, I liked it. I went in, I didn't even know what it was called when I was like, what's the name
Yeah,
of
what
this
is this?
movie
Wait,
again?
you're like, what's it called?
It
What?
took me like 20 minutes searching for the movie because I couldn't remember. I was like, WFUN. I'm like,
yeah,
what the
right.
hell is it?
Right.
And then I looked it up and I was like, I still can't find it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So awesome movie. Check it out. You got to be a Shudder subscriber to watch it, or AMC Plus, I believe you can also get it, or you can also order it on DVD. And also look for the Out There Halloween Mega Tape, the sequel, which you can also buy on DVD right now as well. And I probably will do that and then report back to you guys about how it is. So. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to another episode of America's Hometown Horror. Hope you enjoyed this quick little hitter of an episode as a little bonus content in your feed for the day. Guess what, guys? Wherever you're listening to this podcast right now, next week there'll be another one from us in that same place. But if you're looking for a new podcast platform, you can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, and wherever else you may get your podcasts. Stay spooky, everybody. Happy spooky season. Say goodbye to your listeners, folks.
Happy spooky season.
Good evening.
Adios.
Adios, muchachos.
Muchachos. Bye.
See you.
Okay, see you.
That was a bad.
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.